Here I'm getting ready to do warm-ups with just the bar, which is 45 pounds. The reason here isn't so much to warm up my legs as it is to stretch out my shoulders. I've never had exceptional shoulder mobility. My shoulders have always been tight, and you could see where I was pushing under the bar, and that's to stretch out my shoulders. Now with only 45 pounds, I also don't get quite down deep enough in the squat as I would like to. I need to hit at least probably about 135, sometimes 185 before I go deep enough. So it's just a gradual stretching out and limbering out of the legs and the shoulders. I'm just going to let all the warm-ups play here so you can see exactly what I do and how long it takes. Now I'm loading 225s, so this will be for a total of 95 pounds. So you'll see here again my process of getting under the bar and trying to force myself a little further underneath of it. You can see there I'm stretching is what I'm doing there. It's only in the last few years that I've even started squatting. I haven't done it most of my life because I never could get the bar into position. It took me about 2 months of stretching before I was able to squat in the high bar position. And those 2 months were extremely painful. My shoulders weren't hurting all the time. It was almost like there was a physical limit, and I had to just keep pushing and pushing and pushing until I could get it in position. Now I can get into position. It's still not comfortable, but it doesn't cause pain anymore, and I'm able to do it, which I'm really glad that I can. They do make special squat bars that have handles that hang down lower, for people that don't have good mobility in their shoulders. And I would not want to go that route. My goal was to have just a standard bar. So these are 245s that I'm putting on now. That'll be a total of 135. 45 for each plate and 45 for the bar. As you can see, I don't take too much time between sets and warm-ups. I do them pretty much back to back with the break in between. Is just how much time it takes to load the weights. As you can see here with 135, I'm starting to get to a decent depth. Now I'm adding 225s, and I'll do a couple reps with 185. And at 185, I usually put a belt on, so that's what I'm doing. I'm going to get the belt. It's not necessary, but it does help me tighten the core up, and get the muscles tighter, which gives the back more support and helps prevent injury. I know when I use the belt, my back ends up feeling more comfortable afterwards than when I don't. kind of funny, but at 185, that's usually the point at which squats start to feel good. Lighter than that, they don't feel good. It's almost like I have to hit a certain weight before squats actually feel like squats. Now we'll be moving up to 225. And I usually just do one rep at 225. The purpose of it is just to gradually get used to the heavier weight and have your form adjust to it, because your balance point is different. As you bend over in the squat and you have more weight on your back, you have to adjust how much you bend over because your balance point shifts and it's a lot of weight. Today is leg squats at 300 pounds. I wasn't going to do anything today. I was going to wait till tomorrow, but it turns out tomorrow I'll be busy, so I have to get everything in today. So we'll see. I did heavy squats on Tuesday, so this is only 2 days later, and we'll see how it goes. I like to have at least another day in between. So on deadlift day, I start out by doing light squats, which they're anywhere from 10% to 15% lighter than my heavy day squats. Currently, my heavy day squats are at 350 pounds, so this is probably closer to the 15% mark. Definitely felt heavier than it should, which tells me recovery's not 100%. Really need that extra day in between. But I don't have it this week, so this is better than nothing. I had to shift this bench around because sun's coming through that window, and when I lay down, it's right in my eyes, so a little bit of a strange angle today. Again, here on bench, I start warm-ups with just the bar at 45 pounds. And the idea is to loosen up my shoulders for the movement, and especially my right shoulder, which does bother me quite a bit from time to time. About a year ago, it was so painful that I couldn't even bench at all. I did bands and stuff for about 6 months, and then when I started back lifting, I could only move the bar a couple times with my right shoulder. There was so much pain. So gradually, since then until now, I've been slowly moving up in weights. And things are going great, and my shoulder is feeling pretty good at this point. So here I'm putting 25s on each side for 95 pounds. So I've been benching twice a week, and I've been doing sets of 15, and right now I'm working on 190 pounds. The last time I had got 14 reps of it. But today I decided to do something a little bit different. I'm going to do one more warm-up set. I'm going to put 135 on and just do one rep. I'm going to try something a little bit different today. Instead of going for 190 and trying to get 15 reps, especially since I won't have 100% recovery from Tuesday till today, which is Thursday, I'm just going to try and do a few singles. I put 225 on now, and I'm only going to do one rep. I don't want to do more reps to where form starts to go and you lose a little bit of control of the bar just because of my shoulder. I don't want to injure it again. So I'm going to see how this feels, and after I do 1 of 225, I'll see where I want to go after that. That felt pretty good. I think I'll put a little bit more weight on and try another rep. Okay, we're going to try 245. That didn't feel too bad. I think next week we'll try 250. We drop back down to 190. I'm just going to do as many reps as I feel comfortable with. Now I do 2 workouts on bench press per week, and I think I'm going to continue doing this on the second one each week. I'm going to do a couple of singles followed by the weight that I'm working on at getting 15 reps. I don't want to do too much. I don't want to put too much stress on my shoulder right now, but doing one medium heavy-ish rep is okay. I'm going to keep the reps where I have good form. I don't want to go too heavy where form starts to deteriorate, because that's when I think that I could re-injure the shoulder. Warm up at 135 for deadlift, and I don't go crazy doing warm-ups for deadlift, because before this I did squats. I did squats and then bench, and the squats act as a warm-up for deadlifts. I did quite a few warm-up sets for them, so I'm pretty good. So this is more just to get used to the weight. So I do 135, 225, 315, and then I think 415 for today.
deadlift jack makes it really easy to set up.
I bought that
Okay,
deadlift jack 4 or
225.
5 years ago, and I left it up in the college gym. It just comes in so handy.
And one thing you'll notice I do a little different than most people. I set the weight down completely, reset and start over between reps. The reason for that is every lift is a true deadlift. You don't get any bounce, you don't get any stretch reflex in the muscles. It makes the exercise more difficult. At least that's what I find. For me, it makes it more difficult. And instead of trying to do some elevated deadlifts, which this rack won't really go low enough to do elevateds, that's my solution for training down low, making the down low part harder so it's more work, so it helps develop the muscles better for that. Another thing I could do is bring a few blocks of wood up here to set them to each side to do elevateds. Single at 315.
This will be the final warm-up.
$415.
Next time I'll set the camera up on a better angle so that you can see that plates on the bar.
No problem at all. Drop down to 370 for a few reps.
The last couple weeks I had been really busy. I was working 12, 14 hours a day, a couple days I think even 16 hours, and I wasn't getting rest and recuperation. I did get into the gym and just do the basics. I did the main lifts, no fluff, no auxiliary exercises, just the main lifts twice a week. And last week on deadlifts I only did 370 for 3 reps. Today you'll see that 6 reps here. So after some recovery from getting a little bit of rest, I still need this improvement. If I hadn't done that over these last couple of weeks, I would have regressed a little bit and then been sore when I was starting out again and take several more weeks to get back to where I was. So forcing myself to just do a little bit maintained the strength that I already had gained, and actually after a little bit of rest I saw this improvement. And also the single at 415 this week was a lot easier than the single at 410 last week. So I've been very pleased with this workout. Everything went well, everything went according to plan, and I saw some increases.